Good morning and welcome to my channel. I've been watching a lot of stuff and don't change this. At least give me about at least 2 minutes to explain and then you can do whatever you wish. But every video I see on TikTok and everywhere else right now is no king. No king. So I guess that means that Trump is no king. If that's how you describe that. But let me give you an example of something, and then you think about it for 1 minute, okay? My wife sees a picture or a little short video that I made in my truck. And in my truck, I had a Mountain Dew and I had an apple pie. So my wife calls me on the phone and she says, Jim, no apple pie. No apple pie. No. So think about that for 1 minute. If I didn't have an apple pie, she would never tell me no apple pie, right? Correct? But she does do that. But now we have a guy who won the election in 2016 and did a good job during his 4 years. The only bad thing of it is that unlike most other presidents, and I know normally if a Republican president or a Democrat, whoever gets in, the other team kind of counters what they do, which is not productive. And that's why the United States is going to shit, to be honest with you. And the reason why is because you can't have a president making decisions, but he's doing what he promised to do, or he's doing what he led the people to believe what he was going to do. Then comes your actors, your other people. The other party, whatever side, doesn't matter. So the other party don't like you. Congress tries to change something. The other side says no. Even if it's a good idea, they say no. Why? Because they don't like him. He's the freaking enemy. My wife tells me no apple pie because that apple pie is her enemy. Makes me fat. It's going to kill me before irrelevant. So you have a party that wins the election in 2016. And then for the 4 years, all they did, impeach. I mean, from day one, they wanted to impeach Trump. And this is not about Trump, but well, kind of is. But so every day, all the Republicans, all the Democrats did is they wanted to kill Trump. They wanted to get him out. They wanted him removed. They wanted him to be impeached. So they hired and they lied and they did a lot of stuff. This is my opinion and from what I see on the news. Okay? Whether you believe it or not, I don't really care. But here. So here you got a guy who won the election in 16. And he went through hell for 4 years. They tried to ruin his regular life and all irrelevant. So then in 20, Biden wins, okay? How he won? I'm not here to just talk about that. I don't care. He's gone. So in 24, Trump runs again and wins. He wins big. He wins with 77 million people. He won all the swing states, the Electoral College. He won the Electoral College. He's the popular. He's the popular guy. Why? The people wanted him in there because of what he did before they seen, and they wanted him, plus the stuff that he said, that he's going to do this again. He's going to make it better than before. And he had a big actor who came along. This guy. Oops. This guy right here. This guy helped. He's not the total reason, but he helped a lot. So now you got a guy in office who, like I said, he won the popular vote, the Electoral College, 77 million people. So now you have a bunch of protests that went on the 14th. And they called it No King's Day. So to me, what does that mean? It's easy. It's just like the apple pie. They're saying no king, Because Trump is the king. Why else would they be saying no king if he wasn't the king? You know what I mean? It's like, why would my wife say no apple pie if I wasn't eating apple pies all the time? Seriously. Messes up my hair. You know what I mean? So King Trump is really the king. Even though he's called the president, he's the king of our country. Not the same as the King of England or some of the other kings or a dictator. And I know they call him dictator too. But he's not the dictator. He's the president. But he's also been dubbed the king by the Democratic Party. Congress, Hakeem, dubs him the king. No king. Trump is no king. So he don't want him to be king no more. He wants the king to be fired. They said he's the king. I didn't. Just like my wife says, no apple pie. They're saying no king. So they don't like the fact that he is the king. He's labeled the president of the United States, but the Democratic Party look at him as he's King Trump. He's the king. And the reason why he's the king, they can't beat him. So I love the idea that he's the king. You know, I'm going to tell you why. You're supposed to say yes. If King Trump is truly the king, then he gets to stay in office, right? And then when he's ready to retire, he takes his magic staff and he passes it down to his sibling, Don Jr. So Don Jr. becomes the new king. Good theory, right? Don Jr. stays in there until he's an old man, and then he does this. Baron, you are the new king. You know what I mean? So, hail King Trump, designated by the Democratic Party. They would not have said no king if they didn't believe he really was the king. Now, you tell me in my comments I'm wrong. Tell me, I'll wait. Tell me I'm wrong. They said no apple pie. No king. It's no to the king is what that means. So all the Democrats, all their rants and raves were all about King Trump. I hope he stays the king. I love that idea. As long as Congress is doing their part, which they are, and they're kind of his parliament, you know what I mean? But they can say no to the king. He might not be happy, but they can't say no. I didn't create King Trump. The Democratic Party did. Prove me wrong. In other words, be safe and I'll talk to you later. My God.